Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
It has now been confirmed that Boko Haram has released some hostages they took from Cameroon this year. They are, however, still holding on to over 200 schoolgirls abducted in April. Cameroon authorities confirmed on Saturday that 27 hostages, including 10 Chinese workers taken from country, have been released. The Chinese were seized in May near the town of Waza, close to the Nigerian border. The wife of Cameroon Vice Prime Minister, kidnapped in July, has also been released. Cameroon's Minister of Information, Issa Bakari, has said on Friday that he was not aware of the release of the hostages, creating confusion in the report. President Paul Biya broke the news in a statement read on state radio. No details were, however, given on how the release came about. A professor of business education at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Mahmoud Aliyu, has declared his intention to contest the 2015 presidential election on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. The presidential aspirant made a declaration at the press conference on Saturday in Mina. Aliyu said his decision to vie for the presidency was informed by agitations for the emergence of new crop of leaders to fight the malaise in the country. The aspirant said APC was the only party that would tackle the current security situation bedeviling the country. Aliyu, however, called on national leadership of the APC to review 27 million naira fee for picking the party's presidential nomination form. It described as embarrassing reports that he was being sponsored by ruling PDP to run for president, arguing that he had always been in the opposition since he joined the politics in 1993. All is now set for major political parties in Osun State to commence political activities that will allow them field candidates for various elected positions in the 2015 general election. The parties have promised to play by the electoral rules and regulations that will enhance internal democracy within their parties. Rashid took some party stalwarts on the expectations ahead of the 2015 general elections and filed this report.
The 2015 general elections draw near. Political activities in Osun State have started gathering momentum. The People's Democratic Party and All Progressives Congress are two major contenders on whose platforms ambitious politicians will prefer to actualize their political dreams.
To create my intention for the House of Assembly. By the grace of God, we know PDP in Osun State and to some extension in the federal and local government is one big family, and we know how to resolve our issues. We might not even get to the level of primary election. We want to concentrate on how to even forge ahead and ensure that we come out victorious in the forthcoming election of February 2015.
The first hurdle to cross by these aspirants is the primaries at their respective parties. These party stalwarts are, however, promising a level playing ground.
House of Representatives, National, or the Senate, or the Presidency. We are fully prepared, and I'll tell you, in all elections, all that have been held in the state of Osun have been won by this party. The next election will be as won as the one we had won before now.
Therefore, we had no option than to be prepared. And like the boss cat to say, we are prepared. We are fully prepared. Here in Osun, we are prepared. And that's why you see people coming out of this place, coming to take their form of intention to participate in the primaries. That has got the basic requirement of the law to participate, to aspire and participate in this electoral process. However, we have a duty to ensure that the democratic procedure and tenet is embarked upon by way of coming out with who are candidates to this. So they are doing everything possible, putting our house in order, they are taking reforms and the dates and set aside for the internal democracy by way of a primary election.
But would there be a place for imposition of candidates this time around?
Just a few weeks ago, we were told, the nation was stunned to see that in the PDP, the only person that can contest the presidential election in the entire country of about 160 million people is President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. In a democracy, it's a consensus. If it's taken by them, why not other party? As a matter of fact, we are not imposing anybody. What we do in APC is to say everybody should be ready to express his own aspiration or desire.
We don't have such culture in the PDP. It is not in our character to impose anybody. We go by way of internal democracy. However, if the generality of the people within the party, by consensus that is mutually agreed to, agrees that one person will be brought forward for a particular office, so be it. But by way of imposing a particular aspirant as candidate of the party, it's not the culture, it's not the character, it's not in the making of the PDP. So we have our standard procedure, we go by way of internal democracy.
As the march towards 2015 draws near, observers say the stage is again set for intrigues associated with the game of politics. Again, the excitement is in the air. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
The crisis rocking the Labour Party following defection of some key chieftains, including the Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko, has not ceased to generate reactions. This time, the General Secretary of Lagos chapter of the party, Femi Onofe, has turned his attention to the controversial National Convention of the party slated for Akure in Ondo State. He described the convention as a deliberate manipulation by Mimiko to further embarrass the party.
Mimiko was never an asset. Mimiko never left the PDP. Mimiko was in Labour Party to do the bidding of the PDP. His business in the Labour Party was to stem the growth of the party, was to frustrate the organic growth and prosperity and the flourishing of the party, because he knows what the Labour Party represents. And as far as he's concerned, an organically developed Labour Party will be a problem to the ruling class in this country. And so he was sent as an agent. And unfortunately, our national chairman, outgoing national chairman, was not discerning enough to understand that the Labour Party was not founded for the aggrandizement of anybody, but was founded for the reason of principles, guiding principles which informed the establishment of the party by the thinkers who came together to see the need to give the ordinary people of this country an opportunity to express themselves politically.
He added that the resignation of Dan Iwanyawo is a welcome relief to the party.
We will challenge the morality of anybody. This is a convention. Matter of fact, let me start from the neck. Governor Mimiko, in furtherance of his scheme, went to Abuja for the neck and persuaded everybody to give him the opportunity to host the convention, whereas he knew deep down in himself that he was going to the PDP. And by his own confession, he said he put up some money to have the convention hosted in Akure. I will not go to the exact figure, but if he challenges me, I'll tell the whole world the exact figure, and I will play his voice. We are ready to embarrass him if he wants to be embarrassed. For us, that is immoral. There cannot be anything worse anti-party than that. Why would the person who is a member of the PDP host the convention of the Labour Party? If anyone wants to have his jamboree, he should go ahead and have his jamboree in Akure. We are not going. We are not party to it. We consider it a huge joke. Matter of fact, it's an embarrassment to us. So if he wants to have his convention, he can go ahead and have his party. But he should not call it the Labour Party convention. He should call it the Daniel Oyawo convention. That's how we see it.
High Court by security agents has continued to generate reactions. Lawyers in the state have expressed diverse opinions on the closure of the court. Some say that it is the handiwork of the federal government, while others are of the opinion that the police are actually carrying out the order of the National Judicial Council. Rashid has more on this report.
When the Ado-Ekiti High Court was attacked by hoodlums suspected to be party thugs, Nigerians were shocked, but the belief was that the matter will soon fade away. This, however, seems not to be the case. The story has taken a new twist each day, with the latest being the closure of the court complex by a combined team of security agencies. This, according to the Attorney General of Ekiti State, Wale Fapunda, is like adding salt to injury.
It's inevitable that rather than begin the process of interrogating and prosecuting the leaders of this disgraceful act, the combined forces of the military and the police have locked down our high courts. It will appear that this is a deliberate effort to distort the clear directive of the National Judicial Council.
While the Attorney General contends that the security men locking down the court's complex are there to paralyze its activities, Kolade Kolapo, a counsellor to the People's Democratic Party, says it is an unfair assessment of the situation.
It seems that the clear mandate of the security agencies is to lock down our courts until further notice. This, Mr. Governor, is unacceptable and a clear abuse of constitutionalism and the rule of law.
Fair. If anybody will say that security men are deployed to the court to prevent the hearing of any case, it is very unfair. Because this case they are even talking about, what is the assurance that one of the sides is going to win?
Fapunda admonished the NJC to stand up and be counted in the fight to save the judiciary from turning to an object of ridicule. Kolapo, however, says the issue can only be resolved by the state governor and the chief judge.
It's necessary to call on the Nigerian Judicial Council to stand up for the independence of the judiciary. Politics and politicians come and go, but the judiciary endures.
And don't forget that the court in the first place was closed by the CJ of Ekiti. And the CJ has not issued any directive opening the court again. That is number one. Number two is that even the workers, the whole workforce of Ekiti State are on strike.
The last has certainly not been heard on development, with the coming week said to be one of the most interesting in the political history of Ekiti State. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the Hour continues. Stay with us.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course making a difference for all of us here from all of the few things we want to touch up.
Welcome back to the news. You can also reach us on our social media platform on facebook.com/CoreTV News, and on twitter.com/CoreTV News NG, and on youtube.com/CoreTV News NG. Now, the Poultry Association of Nigerians say the industry has the potential to create over 8 million jobs across the country. The president of the association, Ayola Oluton, disclosed this in Abuja at a press conference in Abuja to mark the 2014 World Egg Day. He expressed concern over the low intake of eggs by Nigerians, saying it is the best source of protein.
Nigeria, we calculate our per capita egg consumption to be about 60 eggs per person per year. Like I said, for us to be able to achieve the nutritional plane that we want, this needs to go up to at least 120. If 50% of the Nigerian population starts to consume eggs, it would mean an additional 1.7 billion naira per day generated in this economy.
Now, let's turn attention to deplorable roads across the country. The mess that has become a lot of most Nigerian roads has for some time now registered its presence on the routes leading to the popular Riverview Estate Isheri North in Ifo local government area of Ogun State. The deplorable condition of the roads has left the residents and businesses in the community regretting their investments in the area. Belomo Adekunle met with some residents of the community who shared their daily experiences through hell in this report.
The rise in population in Nigeria has resulted in pressure for the provision of basic social amenities. Naturally, it is expected of the government to provide such needs like housing, roads, among others, for the people. In this part of the world, housing is majorly a private affair, and in the case of the residents of Isheri North, Ifo local government area of Ogun State, housing has been solely a private affair. But government seem to be lagging in other infrastructural duties. This looks beautiful, the Riverview Estate, but the roads passing through this multi-million naira estate and others in the vicinity is better imagined than experienced. Although the roads from the estate leading all the way to the Isheri market was started during the Gbenga Daniel administration, the whole area, according to residents, has not experienced government presence since change in governance, as several efforts, according to them, to reach relevant authorities have proven abortive. They claim that the community service put in place to address the issue, although expensive, has brought little results.
Oh, well, I'm one of the pioneer residents of this place. So this estate started 2006. So it's hell. You can see the cars. It's as if you've gone to swim in the mud. Well, it's not just the road. Everything you've seen here is the effort of the residents. Electricity, the road, even this year, we filled everything here. And brought in bulldozer, brought in grader, brought in compressor, and but this is the issue. So we've written to government, as we know that Gbenga Daniel's regime started this place. So, and when we observed the quality of work they were doing, then in 2007 we wrote him and they said, look, this place is going to be a mess because of the quality of job, and since that time they just abandoned us. And when the new government came, we've written them, they've not acknowledged our...
But why will anybody acquire land in such a challenging environment as Isheri North? Abayomi Akinde, who is the chairman, Landlord Association, was quick to defend the residents.
There is nobody who, will put his investment, his money, in a risky place. If we knew that there is a problem here, nobody would have invested here. This estate was sold to us, the land here was sold to us by the government of Ogun State. All of us got our certificate of occupancy. So if anybody is to be blamed, if there is any problem, I think the problem lies squarely on the shoulder of the government of Ogun State. Because we didn't go out of our way to, to buy land from these speculators or moneyless. We bought from the government. Government sold this land to us. We paid development levies to the government of Ogun State. They sold the land to us, gave us approved building plan without even advising the residents that, look, this is the specification, you must raise your building to this particular height because there is a problem in this topography. They didn't do that. Any plan you submit to the Ministry of Physical Planning, provided you pay them, they are going to approve. Yes, development levy varies from you know, house to house or from plot to plot, depending on the size of your plot. But the minimum development levy here is 1.2 million.
There is an allegation that the government has distanced itself because it claims the area is water-plagued, whereas the government has also proposed an estate just opposite the Riverview estate. CoreTV News went on a trip to Abeokuta to get government's response after several calls and messages sent got no response from all quarters. CoreTV News, however, gathered that both the Commissioner and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, were not on seat. The roads have not only been abandoned, the ones leading to the Sherry Market have become workshops and parking lots for heavy-duty vehicles and faulty cars. Could this be a crisis of difference in the blueprints of different administrations? If the Amoso administration is not identifying with the former projects, despite its promise to rebuild, does this also mean these residents have not been responsible to the government in their taxes?
Yes, like all this receipt that I have in my hand is the receipt that we used to pay trade permit and the local government trade fees every year. And also the tax, Ogun State tax revenues.
Another election year is fast approaching. New campaigns, new promises. But the people of Isheri North are asking, where are the dividends of the past years? Ebulomo Adekunle, CoreTV News, Ogun.
Concerns have continued to grow on the state of Nigerian roads. In a series of focus on bad roads, CoreTV News roving crew visited a Lagos suburb, Jagemo community in Iba local community development area in the state. The community's satire leaves a sour taste in the mouths of its residents who were urgently in need of government's attention. Sheyi Adegoke has more on this report and is presented from our studio.
The scene is better imagined as belonging to a village in a remote area, but surprisingly, this is a Jagemo community in Iba local council development area of Lagos State. CoreTV News crew could not drive down to the area due to the condition of the road. The residents say the road has been a major hindrance in their day-to-day activities.
I don't know the actual adjective I can use to qualify this road. This road has been an hindrance to our progress in this vicinity. I don't know what to say than to beg Lagos State government to come to our aid. We are really suffering here. The sufferness is immeasurable.
We have attracted the attention of the authorities. Some of the time they visited here. Some by the means of communication. They have seen our plight, but they keep promising us day in, day out. Now, the schools here, the attendance is no longer controlled by school calendar. It's controlled by the season. What I mean is that children cannot go to school during rainy season.
We are suffering in this country too, in this Ijagemo, very much. We cannot able to go out to go and buy something, even though we are even selling market. It's not easy for us to go and buy our market due to something that they are selling 50 naira outside. Due to our environment, we are buying it 150.
As it is, we have about 30,000 residents in this area that are above 18 years, and the government is expecting them to come out and vote. How would they vote? We are paying for different kinds of levies, land use charge and all that. So we are still appealing to them. There is nothing we can do on our own. This problem is too much. They should please come to our aid.
The high chair of the community, Adio Ajakaye, says the community is cut off from other parts of the state.
Ibi náà la wà tọ́nà àfẹ́ bá a ṣe oṣù yẹn ti lé ní ti pé àtúndì ó ti lé lóṣù kan sí táàrí wọn oṣù ó ti pọ̀ṣù méjì báyìí àdéhùn expect wọn pé kí wọ́n wá bí wọ́n ti gbàgbé wa ní election dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ lọ́nà torí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tá a bá sọ fún kán lè bá a bá at least kò yí sí kí ibẹ̀ la dẹ̀ ti ń dìbò ẹ sọ fún mi ẹni tó fẹ́ lọ dìbò tẹ̀ra ní kó wá lọ kọ wọnú omi irú eléyìí kó wá lọ dìbò ṣénú ẹ̀ máa dùn ṣó máa fẹ́ lọ kò ní lè lọ kán wá bá a ṣe kán jọ ń tọrọ lọ́rùn à ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ni.
The community called on the state government to come to their aid ahead of the 2015 general elections to continue to ensure that the electorate are able to exercise their civic rights. And outside Nigeria, gunfire and explosions rocked the Syrian border town of Kobani, where Islamic State fighters are trying to encircle its Kurdish defenders. The Kurds repulsed a pre-dawn attack and still control the town's border crossing points with Turkey, a vital supply and exit route. In Iraq, officials in Anbar province reportedly made an urgent appeal for military help against the ISIS militants, warning the region could be overrun. The U.S.-led coalition is continuing airstrikes against ISIS in both Iraq and Syria, but the Kurds in Kobani say they are urgently in need of more weapons and ammunition. The U.S. has itself said that airstrikes alone may not be able to save the town. As the sounds of battle continued on Saturday, haze and dust obscured Kobani, making airstrikes more difficult but not impossible. The Kurdish militiamen have pushed back the latest ISIS advance, but the militants are being easily resupplied from the south and the east and are able to launch further attacks. And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabana Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.